Greetings and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I'm Jim, I use he, him pronouns, and today we are playing our second and final one-shot of Everyone is John. This is a game in which the players will all be voices in John's head vying for control. We're going to go around and we're going to say who you are and who you're playing. We're going to say who you are and what aspect of John you're playing. We're going to start with Christiana. Hello.
Hello, I am Christiana, and as far as an aspect of John, I guess I don't have like a specific personality archetype, but certainly perhaps a desire to be the center of attention.
Excellent. Cool. And let us move on to Cody. Hello.
Hello. I'm Cody, Lord Conti here on Twitch. You can call me Lord, you can call me Conti, you can call me Lord Conti, you can call me Cody. I'm going to be playing John's repentant past.
Excellent. I like this. And finally, Rock. Hello. Muted.
Every time.
Now we know it's real.
There you go. Hey, Jim. So I'm Rock. You can find me online, RROK007 or TVM Rock. And I am going to be playing John's paranoid delusion of being a secret agent.
Excellent. Good. No, my own paranoid delusions are fairly constant, and so it's hard to tell when there's a game and when there's not. But that aside, that is excellent. That is excellent. Okay. So before we get into it, like we do with most games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. So if we hit something that's crossing a line for one of the players, any of them can type an X in the Zoom video chat or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and we'll do something else. If something happens that you're okay having in the game, but you don't want a graphic description of it, type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil. So it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if you're in the midst of intense role-playing and you think we might be worried you're really upset out of character, you can put an O in the chat to let us know you're okay and that we're good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we say or do something and then think, maybe that might be a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that and let us know if we're still doing okay. So, we are going to get underway here. Before we do, though, I just wanted to ask, are there any other questions about how this game works mechanically? Anything at all? Are you folks okay and good and ready to attempt to be John?
Oh!
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think we're good.
Awesome. So, what we're going to do is, John is going to be waking up in a moment. Everyone has willpower that they bid to gain control of John. Once everyone is out of willpower, that is typically when the game is over, or when the GM decides we're running out of time and it's time for the whole thing to stop, basically, which is also a possibility. We'll see. Or, if John dies or something like that, we don't know. What we're going to start with then is if everyone would send me your bids for your opening bids here. And remember, there is always an option to bid 0 if you want. Only the person who wins the bid is going to be down any points.
Is there a place in Roll20 we're tracking our willpower, or we just remember?
You can nowhere in Roll20 if you want to, because I couldn't figure a way to do that would not also be visible to others. So you can track it on your own. I'm also keeping track of it on a spreadsheet I've got here.
Okay.
So let's see. Okay. All right. I'm looking now at the. Okay, I'm just going to take the last 3 bid. There was a lot of bid experimentation going on before we started, so I'm just going to take the last 3 that I see in front of me. Mm-hmm. And Christiana is going to be in charge of John.
Cool.
So, John is waking up. There is light music playing. Is the first thing you kind of notice, almost lounge music type stuff.
Nice.
And sort of as you open your eyes, you see in front of you there is a kind of a semi-long table. You're in a room with several long tables. you glance that immediately with a bunch of people sitting around them in who are very well dressed, and tuxedos and cocktail dresses and what have you. They're sort of chatting. There is off to the side. There's kind of a stage with a microphone on it, and someone also wearing a tuxedo is sort of standing up there and preparing to say something, perhaps. There are like sort of candles lit. You can see kind of that there are plates of food in front of everyone, and apparently, you're actually, John is sitting at the head of one of these tables, so there and there's, it's like there's a It's like you think there's a kind of a banner hanging up, but you can't quite from your position see what it says. But you can see that it looks, you've got there's some fairly large windows out of which you can't really see terribly well. You can see that it's sort of getting on toward night. What would you like to do?
Well, so given that I just have become aware, are there people like looking at me? Is there any sense that they think, is it weird that I was not aware before now?
No, actually, it's sort of in mid-conversation right now. They're sort of the people on either side of you we're talking to each other. And,
okay.
One of them, the guy just sort of though now is turns to you. This sort of shorter guy, kind of wearing similarly wearing a sort of a tuxedo. He looks over and he says, "Oh, I think they're gonna announce you in a minute."
Oh, that's good. Do I know any of these people? Do I recognize anyone? Or am I?
You have vague memories of there being people perhaps that you know, but you're not really sure. It's all very much a jumble right now. They're vague. You think perhaps you've seen some of their faces before, but it's not really very clear.
Yeah. I look down at myself. Am I wearing a fancy tuxedo too?
Someone who's not John. What is John currently wearing?
A cheap suit.
John is you're wearing a cheap suit, so it's one of those sort of off the rack blazers, and sort of I'm imagining it's one of those wool ties. Well, actually, we didn't specify. What Christiana is how is John? Yes, what gender are we right now?
I would assume John is a man.
Okay, so yes, you're wearing a kind of a wool tie then, presumably if John dresses that way. This version of him seems to. And so it's very it looks like it's one of those things that just was thrown together very hastily. You do have next to you there is kind of a sort of a very thin file folder like briefcase thing, kind of leaning against your chair. But that's all you've got right now.
Briefcase. Well, let's see what's in that briefcase. I think I will nod knowingly at the person who mentioned that, and I will open the briefcase as though I am preparing to be announced, and I need something from my briefcase.
So yeah, you're sort of picking it up and you're looking through it. As you do so, you see there are a bunch of papers in there. The guy up on the stage just sort of does that thing where he taps the mic and it goes as they do. And then sort of that fades out, and he says, "Okay, well, this is really exciting that we're finally getting to figure out what everything's going to look like coming up here. But I believe our next speaker is John. I can't read the last name here. It's but I think everyone knows John, and it sort of points. And there's a smattering of applause. Not uproarious applause. The papers are kind of almost indecipherable. You see pictures of something that looks like it could be a shoe or it could be a boat. You're not completely sure. It's one of those two things, probably.
Perhaps a boat shoe.
It could be a boat shoe. And the whole thing is there are a lot of sort of equations and such on it. You're not finding anything that would be considered like a speech or anything like that. It's mostly just that. There's and some what look like a couple of brochures. One is it looks like it's sort of a travel brochure. Then there's something that looks like it's a clothing brochure that includes a large portion of footwear, and one of them looks like it's a brochure for different kinds of luxury yachts. So
All right. Well,
you know.
I think I will go ahead and grab one of the shoe brochures. Nodding confidently to myself, close the briefcase, and everybody knows me apparently. So
Looks like it.
yeah. So might as well just stride on up there with confidence. Maybe try to glance up at that banner if I can get to where I can read it.
Excellent. So this is going to be a roll.
All right.
Let's see. Looking at your skills, we could fork in reading a room to that.
Yeah,
so you could
reading
be
a
three or
room, I
better.
think seems. All right, so I'm just rolling 1d6, right?
Yep.
And looking for a 3 or a 3 or better, or
Yep.
just okay. 1d6. Boop. And it's
Excellent.
5.
Okay. Yes. Good. Good. So you look up, and as you're sort of crane your neck just right so that you can see the banner, and it says the Grand Hotel welcomes Duncan Footwear.
Okay. Grant. So I chose my brochure correctly then.
It looks like you did.
All right, so I will go. They're waiting for me at the podium.
Yeah, it looks like it. They're sort of applauding, and sort of slowly some folks are getting a little tired of applauding, and then a few others are like,
Well, I
waiting
think
for you to
that there's certainly no need to rush.
of course not.
Deny them the opportunity to give me the appropriate amount of applause, and so I make my way up. Not hurrying, confident, just striding up. Are there like stairs to get up this stage?
yeah,
or?
there's some stairs off to the side.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and you know what? I'm gonna. How high is the stage? Is it just like
It's at about waist level.
waist level?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to look cool by not taking the stairs. I'm gonna try to do like
Gonna
a
hop
fancy
up?
move to hop up and try to look cool. Like, haha! I got a spring in my step. I'm doing cool stuff.
Excellent. Make a roll for me if you would, please.
Sure. I don't think this falls into either of my
It
skills.
does not. You need a 6.
All right.
5.
Oh,
Okay.
almost.
So, I have. Funny thing, I've tried to do the last time I tried to do that, it did not go well. So you basically vault up and slide toward the back curtain, which proceeds to then fall on you.
Freshly polished on the stage. That's good.
So we have a bid for control, and everyone may bid if they so desire.
I forgot how many. What's the total number that we have to bid with?
You have a total of 10 willpower to start with.
All right.
And you only spend it if your bid is the winning bid.
That's
right. Okay.
All right. Just making my adjustments here. Rock, you are in control. You have this curtain falling around you. You're carrying a sort of a thin briefcase-like thing. You're up on some hard surface, which you can't see right now because you've got this red velvet just sort of falling all over you. You're hearing a bunch of gasps from people behind you. What would you like to do?
I'm going to immediately start looking at the area above me, up where the kind of like the rafters area were, where the curtain would have been, and taking a look to see if there is anybody up there. Do I see any nefarious individuals.
So you look up, you're sort of scanning around. You see that there is. You don't see anyone immediately above you. Sort of in the sort of there's not really much of a backstage for this. This is more of a. This isn't a theater. This is really just a kind of an more of a slight ballroom stage.
Okay.
So you don't see much. There is a catwalk up there. Someone is now. You do see off to the side. There is someone who is now dressed in black, running down the this metal staircase from that area down. It looks like is trying to is just sort of looking over at you, like just sort of concerned. Is sort of is like this and starting to run down toward you.
Okay. I'm going to run after that person, and I'm going to try to tackle them.
Excellent. So running toward them isn't going to be too tough because they're also trying to run toward you. So please make a roll to attempt to tackle this person. Now the way you have worded your skills, I don't actually see it going directly into it because there's a specific codicil to one of your skills here. So it's you're going to need a 6 to tackle this person barehanded.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, never mind. I got you.
All right. So this person is running toward you, and you hear them just barely. You see they're wearing a black sort of a black shirt and black pants as they're coming toward you. This is looks like it's just a guy who's running toward you. Is like, oh my God, are you okay? And you leap toward them, and the two of you go rolling toward the side of the stage, and you hit the brick wall on the side, and you hear more sort of, and now there's this sort of, people are just sort of muttering and looking at each other out in the audience. They're wondering what's going on. There's this guy in a tuxedo on stage who's like just looking around very nervously, and it is a bid for control. Okay. Rock, you retain control. As this is happening. So yeah, you're sort of entangled with this person off against this gray painted brick wall. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna immediately go ahead and I'm just gonna start yelling at them. Who sent you? Who do you work for? Maybe go ahead and kind of slam them against the wall a little bit, rough them up.
You pick them up and you're like, who do you send her? Who do you work for? And they're like, I work for the hotel. I'm a strange hand. Oh, please, God, don't hurt me.
All right. I'm just going to keep kind of rough them up a little bit more and, ask him again. Maybe like bullshit. That's not who you work for. Who is it? Which side are you on?
Really trying to burrow down here. Go ahead and make. So you're doing an interrogation here. So I'm going to need you to make another roll for that. And again, this is going to need a 6. 2. Okay. So as this is going on, the person slips from your grasp and starts running toward the toward the front of the room. And he's like, he's gone crazy. So it is once again a bid for control.
Quick question. Do we only get the points if John does our obsession while we're in control? I would guess so, but
no. You actually, if I see, yes. No, you get the points regardless of who's in control.
Okay, all right. Okay.
And so let's see, looking this over. Oh, wow. Okay. Someone really wants to be John right now. Okay. Hang on just a second. Rock retains control of John. So yeah, this guy is bolting for the front door, just has leapt down off the stage, and everyone is just, there's this commotion of this sea of cocktail dresses and tuxedos that are like now just kind of up in arms out there. and the guy, there's a guy in a tuxedo by the microphone who's like covering up. He's like, John, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm gonna take a moment real quick to just kind of like look at the crowd. I mean, since this guy is like denying it and he's kind of running off, I'm going to
very suspicious, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean it does. So I'm just gonna take like a quick moment to look at the crowd to see if I see anybody that, you know, maybe looks like they're a little too attentive.
Okay. So you step out, and you sort of scan quickly. You're scanning the crowd. You're scanning the faces, looking at them. This is going to be another roll, please.
Okay.
Okay. Still not quite enough. So as you're looking, you see that you have looked and you have lost the guy running sort of in the crowd. It looks like he's gotten away. Everyone else is just sort of staring at you, and they're like, oh, what is this? This is great. This is what are we here for anyway? Why is this happening? They're starting to get rowdy. This crowd. And the guy up by the microphone is like, please stay under, folks. Please keep to your seats, please. He looks a little scared. It's a bid for control. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Christiana, you are once again in control.
All right. So am I back at the microphone now, or?
Oh no, you're still sort of off. You're near the front of the stage. You're looking out at this angry crowd.
So I think that I'll look out at the crowd and realize that they're hanging on my every move right now. So I think that the best way to calm the crowd would be to sing. And so I'll just launch out with like, all of you out there in the audience, please do not be afraid. For today is not a day for fear. It's a glorious day.
Oh,
Because there are shoes. And I'll hold out the brochure.
Oh, please roll singing.
All right. Roll 1d6.
You need a 3 or better.
Yes.
5.
Yeah!
Excellent. So they're like, they start, the people in the crowd, they're like, they start laughing and applauding.
Mm-hmm.
You're sort of watching, and now you've got them eating out of your palm right now.
Excellent.
And the guy at the microphone just sort of wipes his brow. He's like, oh, thank God. He just sort of steps back from the mic and... What would you like to do?
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we all know why we're here today. But before we really get started with the business at hand, I think it's important for us to meet and talk to the people that we have not yet become close friends with. And so just as a way to illustrate this, I would like someone whom I've never met before to join me up on stage.
I almost want to make a roll for that, but I'm not going to. So
I did impress them with my singing.
You did impress them. They're sort of looking at each other. They're like, sort of looking around. It seems a lot of people here know you, but you do get someone who steps forward. So a woman in a yellow cocktail dress
Okay.
steps forward, and just sort of calmly is walking forward, and she's. There's a few people are like, sort of applauding as she heads forward, and she kind of comes a little forward, and she's like, "Should I come up to the stage?" Or
Mm-hmm.
Right. She nods, and so she comes around to where the steps are, and she comes up the steps, and she heads over to you, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
She's still carrying her champagne glass.
So I think I hold the moment for a little while just to, to build the anticipation. And then I punch her. Bam!
Okay, please make a roll to punch her. To sucker
So
punch
it's
her.
not one of my skills.
No, sadly no. Let's see what happens.
Alas.
Nope, not quite. So, she ducks and she's like, "What the?" And she throws the champagne in your face, and is stalking off. Everyone else is the crowd just is getting confused now. They're like, "What the hell?" It's a bid for control, please.
I knew these people weren't ready for new ideas.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I think they'd get performance art, but no. Okay, everyone please roll off. It's whoever gets the highest on this. Okay, Christiana, you are still in control.
I try again to punch her.
Well, she is actively trying to get away from you. Do you want to pursue her and just try to chase her down and hit her?
Yes, and while I do, I say, "Come back! Wait!"
Okay, come back. Wait. Step forward.
Yeah.
So I may punch you.
Yeah.
Okay, please make another roll to see if you catch her.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So you trip as she is running off, and you tumble off the stage, and kind of land the 3 feet or whatever, to hit the ground. It's a little sore, as she is running off, and she's now, "What the hell is wrong with him?"
Do I spend the 1 willpower from that bid, even though it went to a roll off, or no?
No, you do not spend the willpower from that bid, because no one won that bid. That was everyone spent 1 willpower on that. So yes, but now we have a new bid for control. Okay. Cody, you are in control.
All right. I'm on the ground again, right?
Yep. You're lying on the. You're lying in front of this stage, and there are people just sort of you can hear and see they're just sort of arguing and look, and just sort of some of them looking at you angrily and just sort of trying to form a barricade. Some of them are leaving. It's hard to say. There's a guy up on the stage back at a mic saying, people, please calm down, very ineffectually. What are you doing?
I'm looking very confused. Huh? Let's see. I have a brochure for shoes in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stand up and dust myself off.
Okay. As you do, you see this group of about 4 or 5 guys that are kind of close to the front are starting to move toward you. Then they're looking at you. "John, what the hell was that about? What are you doing? What's the matter with you?"
Checking my pockets.
You're gonna find an object in one of your pockets. Someone who's not John. What object does he find?
A lollipop.
You find a lollipop. It's like one of those larger ones. It's still actually in its plastic, but sort of those large, multicolored ones that look sort of hypnotic.
I'm just going to take it out, peel the plastic off, and just walk off.
And so they're coming up to, "Hey, wait a minute. You can't just walk. What's going on? We demand an explanation." They're going to try to waylay you. Do you wish to attempt to get away from them?
Oh, yes.
All right. That is basically trying to. It's not really. They're not running, so it's not that kind of. But you're trying to just sort of slip away from them. So please make a roll. Okay, that does not do it. They kind of these couple of these guys, that sort of come up from behind them because who are even angrier, and they grab you and they pull you more in the direction of the side of the room of the wall, and you hear that music is starting up again because it looks like they're just like trying to calm folks down somehow, even though this is not going well, and it is a bid for control. And I recommend, if you're not planning to bid, to go ahead and bid 0, so that way that I can still make sure that everyone's gotten in, that I've heard from everybody. Okay. I need Cody and Christiana to roll off, please. Okay, Cody, you are still in control. So they're like a couple people got you up against a wall. They've kind of there's a guy on either side of you. And they're like, "You need to calm down. What's happening? Have you snapped or something?"
Look, I gotta go make a phone call.
Well, why did you try to hit her?
I'm having a bad reaction to meds. I gotta go call my pharmacist.
They're looking at each other. Okay, please roll. You have a skill here that will help you. So you need a 3 or better because you have Silver-Tongued Devil. All right.
That's a good skill.
They just sort of look at each other. They're like, again? Ah, damn. This keeps happening. Okay, all right. This wall of gentlemen now turns. Most of them sort of turn around. They're like, sorry, folks. He'll be okay. He'll be okay. He's just having a kind of a medical thing going on. And they're like, and so the crowd's starting to calm down a little bit. And they're going to, the 2 guys that are on either side of you let you go. And they're going to ask, you need any help? Are you going to be okay?
I'm going to be fine. Just point me towards the phone, please. Thank you.
Sure. They will. Let's see. I think that there is a phone right near the entrance. It's one of those hotel phones that they just have sitting kind of on the wall. So you have to call through the hotel system if you're going to do that. But so yeah, you're very near the front door now. The front door to this this ballroom. As they've just sort of got you there. There's this white phone just sort of hanging on the wall there.
All right, dial a number.
All right. Any number in particular, or just a random number?
To my pharmacist.
To your pharmacist. Okay. You're gonna call your pharmacist, and let's see. Trying to get through to your pharmacist. Oh, that'll work. And you hear after a minute, sort of, "Hey, this is Ricky."
Hey, Ricky, this is John.
Hey,
you have anything
John.
for my prescription? Trying to give him the idea that this might not be a good line to talk on.
Oh yeah. I got some. Yeah, I got a little stuff. I can have it together in about 20 minutes. You want to meet in the usual place?
Oh, that'll work.
All right. Okay. I'll be here.
And then I'll go outside and call a taxi.
All right. Excellent. I'm going to now randomly draw what the usual place is. Apparently, it's behind an art gallery. But yeah, so you're gonna go. So you're gonna head outside and call a taxi, or you're gonna do it from?
Yeah, I'm gonna go head outside and call a taxi.
Okay. All right. Let's see. You're trying to hail a taxi. Yes, you are. You come out, and you are in in an area where there's sort of city blocks, and there are taxis out here going by. You're trying to hail one. I need you to make a hailing a taxi roll, please. Make sure. Let's see if you can get one. 6. Yes, you immediately flag one over. A yellow check cab comes up, and the cabbie. It's another. Looks like he's barely out of his teens. Rolls the window down. He's like, "Where to, mister?"
I give him the address of the art gallery.
All right. Okay, hop in. So presumably you hop in.
Yep.
He is now tearing through traffic in this city that is big enough to have taxis going by in this part of town, but well, we'll figure out what specific kind of city it is as we go. As you you pull through more out. You look like you're pulling away from the business district, and you are heading into more of what looks like an arts district. And you see all these buildings. I am gonna say though that this cab ride is going to take about like 10 minutes. So as you're sitting in the back, you kind of nod off. Everyone regains 1 willpower.
All right.
And we have another bid for control.
Okay.
Do I have all the bids? Okay. I need Cody and Christiana to roll off, please. All right.
All right.
Christiana,
Okay.
you're in control.
So as I look around, realize I'm in the cab here, I just say, "Driver, I've made a terrible mistake."
What? And you are out in the arts district at this point. He's looking around. You see, he sort of turns the wheel, and there's some screeching of tires as he weaves back and forth between a couple of lanes. And he's like, "Wait, what do you mean?
Well,
We're almost there."
I'm going to have lunch with my best friend, and I always bring him a donut. And if I don't bring him a donut, he'll be horribly offended. I need you to take me to the nearest donut shop right away.
So I'm not going to make you roll for that because this is a cabbie, and they'll just, he'll.
It's his job.
He gets the money anyway. So,
Yeah.
So he's going to swerve, like, ah! And you turn and you start bolting down a few side streets.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of in more closer to the outskirts of the city at this point. So it takes. So it's going to take a couple minutes. It's not going to take like 10 minutes. But as he pulls up into a. What kind of donut shop is this? For those of you who are not currently John.
I was gonna let Rock take this one, and he's muted.
I'm going to say Krispy Kreme. Why not?
Excellent choice. That was what I was going to default to, but I wanted to give an opportunity for there to be a difference of opinion. But clearly there isn't, because we are right.
I live in Boston, and we do Dunkin' up here. But all right.
So you're pulling up to this green and white building with a kind of a metal facade. It's one of those. It says Krispy Kreme.
Mm-hmm.
What would you, he sort of pulls up, slams on the brakes. He's
Okay.
like, "You want me to wait?"
Do I have like a wallet on me?
You search. I'm tempted to say no, but yes, you do have a wallet.
Okay.
You have a wallet with your ID in it, and it looks as though you have $2.50.
I say, "Yes, please wait," and then I get out.
Okay. I lost the card for who this is, but that's okay. I didn't say his name, so it can be anyone.
All right.
Yes. So you get out,
Mm-hmm.
and what do you?
I go into the donut shop.
All right. You enter the Krispy Kreme.
Mm-hmm.
And
The donuts are behind glass, right?
they are indeed. You can watch them being made as they come through this big machine.
Do they
And
have
there are people
any
in-
where they're in like boxes, like already set out, ready to go?
There are a few of those. You see people in using white sort of garments and paper hats and all of that behind the counter. You see, tables, and there is a rack near the front counter where you've got one rack where you just pull out individual donuts, and a rack where you sort of down below where you have boxes of either assortments or bunches.
So
of
I guess what I'm
donuts.
getting at is are all the donuts like behind glass or behind the counter, or are there any that I could just grab?
Oh yeah, no, that you just open the cabinet and you can grab those.
I do that.
Okay.
I grab a donut, the first one I can literally get my hand on.
All right. So the first one you get your hand on is I think with pink icing and sprinkles.
Perfect.
As they invariably are in things like this. You seize the donut, and the person behind the counter nods at you.
Mm-hmm. How?
Hey! You have eaten a donut.
You!
And we now have a bid for control, as you have just achieved one of your objectives.
Let's see.
Oh my god. All right. Hang on. Let me make some adjustments here real quick. Okay. Christiana has retained control here in the
Sweet.
donut shop. There is someone who is now just sort of looking at the guy behind the counter say, hey, wait, you got to pay for that.
So I like to imagine John has pink icing smeared all over, like around his
Of
mouth,
course he does.
and I think he just gives that guy behind the counter the stink eye and just says, "Make me," and then just grabs another donut.
Okay, so you're reaching for the donut. This guy's going to vault the counter and try to stop you.
Okay.
So I'm going to need you to roll if you want to try to get the donut to your face before.
So
what do you wanna do?
if I see him coming, can I choose to try to punch him instead?
You may.
Well, then I'll go ahead and
Yeah,
do
you can
that.
try to intercept him as he's bolting for you. But yeah, so
Yes.
go ahead and roll, please.
Alas.
No. So you don't quite manage to punch him. He swerves and grabs you and tackles you to the floor. And we have a bid for control. Okay. Cody, you are in control. You have a chocolate frosted donut in your hand, and you have a donut shop employee who is pinning you to the ground. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm pinned to the ground. I'm like, is there a phone around here?
He says, "Yeah, you bet there is, pal. We're about to use it to call the cops on you if you."
I think I've had a complication with my medication.
Please,
Where am I again?
please make your silver-tongued devil roll.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 or better, you got it. And he's like, oh, really?
Yep.
Here, give me that. And he takes the donut from you. Puts it back in the case. And it's like,
I don't think that's sanitary.
yeah, probably not. It sort of is picking you up.
Yeah. He should really just let you eat it.
Yeah, I know, right? You hear that voice in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. The voices can hear each other if they want.
Ah.
They're just sort of picking you up. And he's like, "What? You okay, pal?"
Like I said, I was going to pick up my medication. I guess I had another episode.
Yeah. No, we got a phone. Yeah.
Did I break anything?
Nah. It's okay. It's okay. You just ate a donut. It's
How much
shrinkage
are you?
happens all the time.
How much do I owe you for the donut as I look for a wallet?
It's that'll be $2.50. They're on sale today.
Don't believe him. He's a spy.
You have.
Spy.
Hit him.
Hey, I got exactly $2.50. I'm sorry for the commotion.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Our phone's right over here. If you want to come around the counter, it's just on the edge there.
Do I have a bank card in my wallet?
You're looking for a bank card.
Yeah.
Someone who is not John. Is there a bank card in there?
I think there is a library card.
There's a library card. Unfortunately, that is not legal tender. But that's all you really see in there, aside from your ID, is a library card.
All right. Well, all right. Then I'm gonna go back outside.
All right. You head outside. There's a cab waiting there.
Is it the same driver?
Yeah, same driver.
All right. I get in. We're gonna need to stop by a bank.
Oh.
Preferably a. Someone give me a bank name.
First National.
First National. And he's like, "Oh yeah. There's First National just a few blocks away."
I need to grab some money. How much is the fare up to so far?
Right now the fare is up to about $25.
All right.
All right.
First National, then to the art museum
All right.
gallery.
And he turns and he pulls off. He says, "Did you get your donut?"
Yeah, I did.
Okay. He looks a little confused because he doesn't see you with donuts, but he figures, okay, whatever. And he's like, he drives. Doesn't take long. You get to now it is again early evening, so the bank is currently closed. So he's going to assume that you want to just pull through the ATM, and so he is pulling over in that direction.
I don't have my bank card. Darn. All right, let's just head on to the art gallery. I know some people there. I'll get you your money.
Okay, now I just need you to make another roll to convince him, if you would, please. You have the skill, but I just...
Yeah, I think a savvy taxi driver would at this point start feeling like, wait a minute,
yeah.
what's going on here?
He's like,
But I am the silver-tongued devil, and
yes, you
Oh,
got
yeah.
him. You got him. He's like, okay, all right, if you say so. And he pulls around and he starts heading toward the art gallery. Again, you're in that neighborhood, so it doesn't take you very long to get there. He pulls up, and you... This is, we'll call it McCaw's art gallery. And it's one of those, it's not a huge one. It's like sort of one of the kinds that you'd find near the suburbs, in the arts district. So it's very, it's this brick building, the one-story brick building, and it's got sort of an amusingly painted, just multicolored sort of Jackson Pollock-y sign across the top. And he pulls up. You do note that the art gallery is in fact closed, but that's it's the meeting points behind it anyway.
Yeah.
He says, "It doesn't look like they're doing anything tonight. Are you sure there's somebody here to meet you?"
Yeah, there is. Just give me about 10 minutes as I get out the cab and go around the back.
And he just
Punch him and run away.
You head around back.
Yep.
And Ricky is standing there. I had a description for him, but I shuffled the card, so I don't now. What does Ricky look like? Someone who is not John.
Really tall and super skinny.
Okay. It's a very tall, thin gentleman who has a mop of blonde hair, and looks like he's got an 11 o'clock shadow, and he's wearing this kind of this sort of thing that perhaps was a jacket at one time, sort of draped over him. This is sort of not really bulky, but just sort of very, outside of where his lines end. And he just sort of looks up at you and he says, John, good to see you.
Sorry for being late. It's been a weird night.
Yeah, sounds like it. I mean, yeah, it sounded kind of frustrated.
Yeah. Lost my bank card. I don't know where that's at.
Yeah. I've been there.
Yeah.
Had to.
Oh, I gotta dodge this taxi here in a minute.
Oh, good luck with that.
I'm just gonna go out the other exit and walk down the street.
All right. So,
Hey, can you spot me till tomorrow?
And you see he's pulling out this plastic bag and he's like looking at you. Go ahead and please make your convincing roll once again. Okay, you got him. He's like,
Hey, I gotta go to Ricky for everything. He knows I'm good for it.
yeah, I know you're good for it. So yeah, all right. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
All right.
If you don't see me by noon, come by the house.
Okay. Don't make me send around the guy with a hammer again.
Yeah,
And-
that poor guy. Is his foot all right?
Yeah, he's okay. It's a lot better now. He's a lot better. He still kind of limps a little bit, but he's okay. He hands you this baggie with, I guess that they look like sort of buttons in there, if I'm remembering correctly. And they're like so there are 3 buttons in there.
Hey, know anything happening around here?
And he thinks for a second as the GM draws a card. Around here, I presume, is going to be in this neighborhood. Oh, okay, sure, we'll go with that. He says, yeah, a new chop shop opened up. They just, they're starting to, they're really moving forward with their business, if you know what I mean.
Is that a
Okay,
car
first
joke?
off, I'm going to apologize to the internet for going in this direction yet again. I can't seem to escape it. It shows up in so many of my games. He says, yeah, the Russians moved in.
Russians.
Yeah, they've got it up and running again. It's so they're looking for cars if you got anything.
Don't at the meantime, but I got some. And you know me, I like to talk.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, that's it's well, if you want, now you gotta be careful. You know how they, but
Yeah.
they're just a few blocks down on Birch.
Thank you, Ricky. See you tomorrow.
All right, see you tomorrow, man.
And I'm gonna go out the other way.
Okay, so you're now going to attempt to so you're trying to cross away, trying to evade your the
Cab.
cabbie. Mostly, this is just a question of not being seen as you're moving through the sort of the subdivision.
Yeah.
Which theoretically shouldn't be difficult, but again, this is John, so please roll. Nope. Okay. So as you are moving down what seems to be a side alley that no one can see, you see this cab pulls in, its lights on, and the engine guns, and he's like, "Hey, Mister, you're trying to get away from me?" And
I turn around,
looks stressed.
like I turn around, and look at him, like, wait, didn't you park over there?
He did. It's good for control. Okay. I need Christiana and Rock to roll off, please.
2. Boo. Boo for 2.
All right, Rock, you are in control.
And you're muted.
All right, what do I have in my hands right now?
So let's see. You've got your small briefcase-like thing, your file folder briefcase.
Right.
You have a not in your hands, but you have well, in your hand you have this baggie with three sort of little button-looking things inside them. Dark, I believe they are in color.
Okay.
The cabbie's a rogue agent. Run!
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the cabbie is
Like-
gunning the engine and is just
Hit
looking
him and
at
then
you.
run.
All right. So I'm going to hurl the briefcase at the cabbie, and then start running in the opposite direction down like alleyway or whatever it is that we're in.
Oh, my brochures! So yes, you throw the briefcase. Brochures littering, starting to fall out because it's one of those briefcases that doesn't actually close. Like I said, it's a sort of the file folder, sort of mushy one.
Right.
And you hurl this in an attempt to distract the cabbie long enough to get away.
I give you the gift of knowledge.
Yeah. Give him the gift of knowledge. Please roll your thing of briefcase hurling distraction.
Right. Oh man.
Nope. Okay, so this only serves to enrage the cabbie. And as you take off running, you hear the cab gunning and just peeling up and just coming up, and he's trying to come behind you. The headlights, you can kind of see the light in front of you as he's trying to keep up with you down these whatever tight corners you're running down. He seems hell bent to get at you, but it is now a bid for control. All right. Christiana is in control. You're running from a cabbie.
Are there other people like on the streets and stuff?
Yeah, it's still early in the evening and it's the arts district. So yeah, you've got a few there are some coffee houses and things open, and also warehouses because the arts district is not huge. And various coffee houses, restaurants, things like that.
Okay. Well, I start yelling, "Help! Help! This cabbie's trying to kill me!"
Run for Birch Street. We can sell the cab.
Yeah, and so I think is he like trying to run me down, like actually, or is he just trying to follow me?
It's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of like he snapped. So it's difficult to say what the voices in his head are telling him.
So I think I will duck into a coffee shop.
Okay. So once again, you're trying to evade this person as he's like just sort of barreling down the road after you on the side streets, tires squealing as he turns. And you enter you're gonna dive into a coffee shop, and I need you to make a roll to basically hide from Crazy Cabbie.
Woo!
6. You plunge into the recesses of the coffee house, and you see you manage to get behind one of those large sandwich signs that they've pulled inside at this point, and duck down, and everyone sort of sees out the plate glass window just peeling by at like 70 on this this rural road, this yellow cab just swishes by, trailing fire in its wake almost. Well, smoke. And it's getting calm again as you're in one of the calmest places in existence. You're in a coffee house. There are people standing in line to get coffee from the bar. There are people in various booths, various nooks. There's someone with a guitar sitting on a small stage who's currently playing it very slowly, as though perhaps should be hooked up to an IV right now. You're not sure. That would probably complete the picture, but it is very much sort of doing... clearly this person is a fan of Dylan.
Okay.
And is sort of kind of decided to take it to the nth level, to the nth degree. And so he's very kind of laid back doing that thing. What are you doing?
So first, I think I would like to try to get a sense of whether or not this coffee shop sells donuts.
That's an excellent question. You look at at these glass cases, They are selling, it looks like, an assortment of different pastries. You don't see immediately anything that would count as a donut. You see a couple of round things real quick, and then you realize those are bagels. So it looks like they probably, that you might ask, but they don't have any donuts on display.
Okay. So you can't win them all. So I think I would turn back and look at this guy who's he's just playing the guitar or singing too on the.
He's kind of, well, I wouldn't call it singing exactly. It's more sort of he's kind of humming along to this tune that he's strumming, and occasionally will say something that's almost a word as he's humming. So he's like sort of like this. Yeah, very much like
All right, so I think I would like to go up next to him and begin to sing, and making sure to eye contact everybody in the room and essentially glare them into paying attention, because I'm sure that they were avoiding looking at this guy before.
Of course.
So,
please make your roll that you can use reading a room on this.
Okay.
Because this, you're trying to read it for
Get
the right
them to
point.
pay attention, Right.
So,
oh dear.
Unfortunately, you get up, and just as you begin singing, you hear, and he is finished and is in the process of standing up when you start singing, and everyone's looking at you a little weirdly right now. What kind of song are you trying to sing?
Well, I think I was planning to sing about my one truest desire would be to unite two people in love. Is anyone looking to get married today?
All right. Yes, you're right. That was. Yes, thank you very much for the sub. Yes, that in fact was a person who thinks he's Bob Dylan, but is not in fact Bob Dylan. But it is time once again to bid for control, as the audience seems to be souring. Okay. Whoa, okay. No, I put the wrong number in there. Let me undo that. Okay. Let me put the right number in there. All right. Cody, you're in control.
I'm on the stage. I just announced I wanted to marry people.
Yes.
No one's taking to it.
People are like looking at you really weirdly right now, and they're sort of like just, and they're getting up, and they're starting to, a few people are starting to walk away.
Punch the old man.
There is an old man. He's got a cane. What would you like to do?
Hey, old man.
He just sort of looks up. Yeah.
I hold up the.
It's not my kind of thing, but yeah.
I pull out the peyote. What do you say?
Okay, I'm going to need you to make a roll. You may use Silver-Tongued Devil. He's like, oh my god. He's kind of got a he's got a fedora, sort of brown, sort of very wrinkled fedora. He's wearing a sort of a wrinkled vest. He's very wrinkled. And he's like, oh. And he just sort of points toward the back.
Oh, we're going to the back.
So he follows you. This poor old man. And you get to this sort of little area that's kind of a closed in sort of back porch area. There's a deck. It's a back deck. No one's out here right now, though. People don't really use this part of the coffee house. But there are a few metal tables and stuff out here. So no big deal.
I'll get comfortable at one. Pull out the baggie.
He's like, oh, yeah. It's been a long time. It's been a really long time. As he sort of sits down across from you, he looks excited.
Well, we're prepping and we share.
All right. Let's see. One moment, I need to Google something.
How
Yeah.
long till peyote kicks in?
Exactly.
Let's see.
Adverse chemical interactions with peyote.
Oh, it includes mescaline. That's fun. So let's see. So yeah, I feel like as this is a okay, good. I'm getting a list of symptoms. That's helpful. It's not giving me a time limit, so I'm going to say that it's probably going to be longer than 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there, the two of you are sitting there waiting for it to hit. And you doze off for a second, and everyone regains 1 willpower.
All right.
And we bid for control.
And you bid for control. That's right. Okay. So, Cody, you're still in control, and I'll tell you what you wake up to. So here now we have entered a realm where I'm going to start describing things a little bit differently. As you sort of hanging out. Okay, all right, I'm just going to go with this list I have in front of me. You're kind of sitting there, and the table is glowing, and sort of it's under this umbrella that looks like it becomes the trees. It just sort of stretches out and up and out. And this old man is nearby, and he's kind of dancing with his cane. He's doing a kind of a soft shoe. Just sort of tapping. He's very lithe for his age, as it turns out. Very nimble. As this is going on, he's dancing around. He seems happy. What are you doing, John?
Hit him. He'll never expect it.
I missed the love of my life.
Oh, me too. They all go. They all leave you in the end, the bastards.
I believe I can go back and find her, Change everything. Look at us now. We're in the true realm of things. The pure life. And anything's possible here. I mean, we can go back in time here.
Looking at his hand. I need you to make your silver-tongued devil roll, please. Nope. So he's looking at his hand, and his hand suddenly grows huge, and just sort of clamps around your throat. As he's kind of lifting you up. He's looking slightly Hulk-like now as he's doing this. And he says, "No one can change the past, John! No one!" And I'm going to
my
need...
name? How do you know my name?
It's a good question. There's a bid for control right now. Okay. All right, let's see. Christiana is in control.
All right.
Big hulking guy. Big hulking old man with a mustache. He's holding you up like this. As
I hit him. I punch him.
I need to see if you can get in a. You need to see if you can get in a good punch on this guy. Nope. You reach forward. You lunge forward to try to punch him, and you do not connect, and you find yourself sailing over his shoulder as you're just sort of drifting in midair as you move towards this very sharp-looking fence.
Oh
that's
dear!
On the edge of this property, the edge of the behind the coffee house, and I need everyone once again to bid for control for me. Okay, I need Rock and Christiana to roll off, please.
That's probably not gonna work.
So that's very high.
I think I suspect foul play.
I don't know. Oh, okay, there we go. That's good. Okay. This is a 65-sided die. How did that happen? On peyote, anything is possible. But Rock is indeed in control.
And still muted.
And still muted and drifting towards a pointy fence. It's got very sharp points on them that are standing there mocking you.
I'm going to let's grab the fence.
I'm sorry, Rock. What did you want to do?
Let's grab the fence and use it against. Grab it, and then we want to turn around and use it against the guy that we were fighting.
Oh my God. Okay. So you want to try to rip up part of this fence, basically, and use it as a weapon. And
yes.
So, yeah, I see what you're doing. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, and I'll let you use your fight with improvised weapons roll on this. Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So you're holding this fence post that you've picked up, and you're sailing through the air toward him. And it's almost like this anime moment as you're like streaming down on him, and you swing and you clock him, and you see him sail over the fence and up above the tree line and into the sky as he is being knocked into the stratosphere by your blow. And you hear the sound of a stadium just sort of lightly applauding behind you. You can't see a stadium, but you hear one.
That was pretty good, but it could have been a punch.
Yeah. But you did not. Unfortunately, you cannot confirm whether he has been slain or not, as he is now probably in orbit. What would you like to do now?
I'm gonna look around.
Go to Birch Street. Russians have moved in.
Kind of trippy place, right?
Yeah, it's very weird. The landscape is very sort of swimmy.
All right.
It sort of washes up and down like the ocean. All the buildings on the other side are just sort of rippling.
I'm just gonna shake my head a couple of times, and then I'm gonna try going back to the street.
Okay. So you aim carefully to get out through the gap in the back of this thing under a trellis that looks disturbingly like it's this like kind of an archway that you would see in like a bank or something like that, but as sort of very, very imposing, cold-looking, as cold and stony as a wooden trellis can look, as it looks down at you disapprovingly. You stumble through and make your way slowly, 1 foot at a time, toward the street. You can see there are cars going by, driven by cackling demons. And of various colors and designs. So you're heading toward closer and closer to the street as you kind of see it in front of you. What would you like to do?
Well, all right. So we don't see the cab guy, do we?
Not immediately. No, he's.
This is just like Duel again, this old Spielberg movie now. It's like it's just gonna, for the rest of the session, the cabbie's still looking for us.
I know, he is. He's gonna try and find you. It's gonna be dangerous. Um,
I don't see the cabbie.
no, you do not. Not immediately. Yeah, you don't see him. You can go hunting for him if you so desire.
Nah. I'm thinking that our buddy that we met behind the art museum set us up.
He might have.
Send us in the direction of the cabbie in order to try and, you know, get rid of us. So I think we need to go back and try and find him.
Oh, he did say something about Russians on Birch Street.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So let's head to Birch Street then.
All right.
See if we can find these damn Russians.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for anyone
Spies.
who's married.
Start heading toward Birch Street as you sort of weave and bob back and forth, and you will eventually come up to this area where as this is I decided to switch to the more psychedelic looking background while this is going on. So yeah, you're kind of trying to figure out where this is, and eventually you see this garage that where you see there's loud sort of metal playing from inside, and so you see some lights on, just kind of from underneath one of the closed garage doors. A couple of garage doors and a door to an office. It's a building that looks sort of bluish, and perhaps it's pulsing actually from bluish to reddish right now. It's kind of hard to tell.
We might need a car to get in.
This is a garage. All right. I don't see any kind of, like a doorway or anything.
Well, yeah. There's a front door, and there are there's a front door. There's to an office. There's a door, side door, which presumably leads into the garage, and then two large garage doors. All those doors are closed currently, but you never know what might happen when you approach one.
Let's kind of go for one of the side doors.
Okay. So, sort of weave back and forth as this door dances in front of you. For a moment, it's like it's kind of the wall around it sort of gets very dark and looks like a field of stars for a moment, and for a second it's like you're approaching the intro to the Twilight Zone. And you head up to this door. Are you just going to try to open it and go in, or what are you going to do?
I mean, I don't see anybody, like any kind of guard or anything.
No, but you do hear death metal sort of blaring from inside.
Okay. Do I see anything nearby, like anything that could be used as a weapon, like a crowbar or something, or discarded tools, like a hammer?
Around. Out here, I think I'm going to have you roll to look for something you can use as a weapon. I will let you use your improvised weapon skill on this. Okay, yes. You find there's a lead pipe lying there.
I'm going to pick it up, kind of test its weight a little bit, just as, like give it a quick swing or something.
Yeah, it vibrates as you swing it through the air, and seems to shine almost with an unholy light as you bring it up.
All right. I'm just going to kick open this door and go charging in.
You kick the door open, or you start to kick the door open. I need to find out if you're successful at that or not. So please to roll for kicking door open. Unfortunately, you're like you kick at the door, and you have managed to kind of to very badly bruise your leg. You cry out in pain and sink back to the ground. This lead pipe you have in front of you just sort of weaving back and forth in front of you, and you hear the door open, and you see these big beefy gentlemen just sort of towering over you. They're at least like 100 feet tall, you think, as they come down with very dark countenances. They're just sort of coming down. These three of them, they're kind of trying to surround you, sort of looking down, and they're saying, "Who the hell is this?" And that is where we're going to take a break. We will be back in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? We'll see
Nobody.
you shortly. Greetings, we have returned, and once more we are back. And let's see, John is lying on the ground with three very large, probably Russians or possibly extra-dimensional beings. Hard to tell the difference right now. Standing above him, holding a wavy lead pipe. And the time is upon us once more to bid for control. All right, I need everyone to roll off, please.
Ooh.
Okay, Rock. You are in control as these figures tower over you. What would you like to do?
All right. We still have John still has the lead pipe, right?
Yes, you still have this lead pipe, although it looks like it's trying to be something that's more like butter than lead right now, or a snake maybe. It's hard to tell. It hasn't settled into a specific shape yet.
All right. Well, if the lead pipe is all kind of wavy, I'm thinking, let's see if we can wrap it around one of the legs of one of these giants that are over us.
Yes.
And see if we can pull their legs out from underneath them.
Awesome. So I need you to make your improvised weapon roll. Okay. You lash out with this lead pipe, which possibly is also a bullwhip. And it wraps around the legs of one of these, and you yank him down toward you. It's like, bumps down and drag him towards you. You're sitting up. And the other two are like, what the hell? And they're getting ready. They're going to basically start beating on you to try to get you to stop.
Okay. Hey, the one guy's on the ground. Let's go ahead and see if we can whiplash one of these other guys.
All right. So they're falling upon you. Go ahead and make another roll for to see if you can bring another one down. 6. You manage just basically to punch this one with your with the pipe, which is stiffened again for a moment as it comes up. And just sort of clock him in the jaw, and he tumbles over on top of the other guy, and leaving the third to grab you by the collar and hoist you up to your feet. And he is hauling back and getting ready to punch you.
Okay, and when he did it from in front of us or behind us?
He was roughly to your side, to your left side.
Okay. All right. Well, we're just gonna go ahead and lash out to the left with the pipe.
Okay. Ah! Go ahead and make your lashing out roll once more, please.
All right.
All right. No, that's enough for your skill. You hit him in the stomach. He bends. He's over like and he sort of bends over, and so you have now effectively, for the moment, incapacitated these three guys. Who are like in pain and they're struggling to try to get to their feet. What would you like to do? And there's this door open. This Twilight Zone door is open, and you see this light flooding out of it, and a chorus of screaming angels possibly is coming from inside. It's hard to tell.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, if it sounds like screaming angels, then that's I don't know. Probably not Russians. It's probably Irish that are in there. Irish mafia. Let's either way. I mean, they're working against us. Let's go in there and see what we can wreck.
Good choice. Good choice. Okay, I'm just checking a couple of things here. All right. Good. All right. You go inside, and you see that there are these. Up on lifts, you see a couple of vehicles that probably are cars. It's hard to... Well, okay, there's a shark that's just sort of flipping back and forth on top of one of them, but looks somewhat vaguely like a car shape, sort of a hammerhead. Then you see there's an octopus up on the other lift that's sort of like trying desperately to wriggle its legs, which are roughly also in the shape of tires, a couple of them.
My God, it's an animal chop shop.
Maybe.
they're going to release them into the streets of New York in order to go ahead.
Release them into the streets. But yeah, there's no one in this room right now aside from that. And you hear this loud blazing, these sounds coming from, it seems like they're coming from the walls, reverberating. The sounds of like, sort of like, ah, ah, type stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So you said there's nobody around. I don't see anybody.
Not in this room, no.
Okay.
To the office.
Yeah, I was about to say, where's the next room, the closest room?
There's a door. There's an office door. You can just vaguely see sort of drifting back and forth behind these two trapped animals.
Okay. Let's go, barreling through the door.
All right. Ah! You're gonna try to break through that door. Yeah, it's probably not gonna be locked or anything. So you like burst through the door. And you see, there's this big guy, who's like just kind of standing up. There's a woman behind him, and they're behind a desk. And this big guy with tattoos that seem to be wriggling back and forth a bit. His eyes are glowing. And he reaches over and he picks up and he's reaching toward what looks like an axe on the wall. What would you like to do?
I'm going to throw the lead pipe at the guy that's going for the axe.
All right. I'll go ahead and count that. Fighting with improvised weapon. Go ahead. Okay. You throw it at him, and it wraps around his neck and makes him fall to the ground, as it seems to be choking the life from him. He's like, ah! He's flopping about, making holes in the concrete floor below with his mighty blows of his hands as he's struggling to get this pipe off of him. There's a woman just sort of standing behind him with a clipboard, and a cigarette sort of dangling out of her mouth, and she just sort of steps back, and she just sort of looks at you. She pulls out something in her hand.
Oh, well, I mean, if she's going for a gun, we can't have that.
It looks like a banana.
I don't know if it's a loaded banana or not.
It could be. The banana could be loaded. It looks like it has not yet been peeled.
Just think, they have trapped animals here. It has to be a loaded banana.
Is there a chair on this side of the desk?
There is a chair on this side of the desk that this gentleman just vacated.
All right, I'm gonna grab the chair, pick it up, and try to. Yeah.
God. All right. Yes. Make your chair battery roll. Fighting with improvised chair weapons. 6. Okay. You basically you hear this bang as the banana goes off, and you see a yellow splotch on the wall behind you where the banana enters the wall. As you clock this woman, she goes flying across the room and onto a sofa, which proceeds to start devouring her. It seems it's like just folding in on top of her.
All right, what about the guy? The last guy.
He's like.
I thought there were 3 total.
No, in here there was only.
No, in here there were only 2.
Okay, because I thought you said there was a guy behind the desk, there was a woman next to him, and I thought you said there was a third guy that had the tattoos, or was that the
third man? No, that was the first guy.
That was the first guy. Yeah. Oh, okay.
The third man was Orson Welles.
That's right.
All right. Yeah. All right. In that case,
old movie jokes.
The guy with the pipe around his neck, and I'm gonna.
Zoom tight.
Is there anything on the desk like a stapler?
All these weapons, just use your hands.
There is a stapler. It looks like it's trying to crawl its way toward the edge of the desk.
I'm gonna grab the stapler, and
you got it.
I'm gonna just start beating on this guy and tell him, ask him, who is it that you work for? Is it the Irish Mafia, the Russians, the IRA?
Who do you work for? Make your interrogation roll, please. I'll let you use your fighting with improvised weapon skill on this.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he seems to be made of sterner stuff as he reaches up and grabs your arm and just sort of pulls it in a direction it's not supposed to go. And I would like everyone to bid for control, please. Okay, everybody roll off. Rock, you're still in control. So here's the deal. He is kind of you hear this audible crack, kind of almost, as he sort of pulled your arm, and your arm does not feel good. You're in a lot of intense pain as the angels behind you get louder as this happens, and the light is sort of bleeding into the room behind you.
In your pocket, there's a painkiller. You just gotta pull it out and put it in your mouth.
It's fair.
It's in a plastic bag.
The room is starting to resolve itself. It's like the sofa's no longer eating that woman. As you're experiencing this pain.
The wallet that we had, it's just like a regular leather wallet. It's not like on a chain or anything, right?
No, it's a regular wallet.
Okay. All right.
We're going to keep interrogating, find out if the man and the woman are in love.
So this guy,
clambering to his knees. Sorry,
this guy that's like pulled our arm, off to the side. That was I'm assuming he was going for the hand that held the stapler in it, right?
Yes, he did. And so the stapler is currently on the floor, just sort of like yipping at you.
Okay. All right. So in that case, I'm going to reach back and grab the wallet. And if it's like most leather wallets that I've seen, it's got at least, it's got its edges. Yeah. See, like
it's like that one.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start slapping this guy with the wallet.
Okay. He's getting up to his knees. He's getting ready to hit you.
Yeah.
And so you're going to try to slap him around with the wallet? Yeah. Go ahead. Use your improvised weapon roll, please. That'll learn him. So you're reaching up with this thing. The wallet springs blades as you lash out with it for a moment. Actually, I don't know. You're in pain. I don't know if it would really do that much. But you sort of cut him down across the side, and he's like now as you hit him with this thing, he's sort of taken aback. He's trying to scramble up to once again grab this fire axe that he was reaching for.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and just like tackle him at that point, to try and stop him from grabbing the axe.
Okay, you're gonna leap forward and just use this as a regular roll.
Yep.
6. You get him just before he reaches the axe. You've got him. You've only got the use of one arm, but you manage it somehow.
Punch him!
You grab him, and he's like, now you've got him pinned down on the floor, underneath you.
All right.
He's like,
I'm just
what
gonna.
do you want?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab him by the back of his head and just start slamming it into the floor and just, who are you working for?
That's not a punch.
Hang on a second. Let me see. All right. There we go. I clicked on it. It didn't come up. All right. Olegovich Syndicate. We're the Olegoviches. We're here. We just bought this place. Who the hell are you? You're the Italians?
See, now he's introduced himself. He's not a stranger anymore. So,
okay.
I think we're gonna count this as your obsession number 1. I think possibly. Well, it could be number 1 or number 2.
Can it be both?
Well, I'm only gonna award one at a time. I'll award your number 2 since there's a question of it to get someone to admit to being a spy, basically.
Yeah. All right.
And that means that there is a bid for control.
Okay. Cool. Oh, yeah, right.
Okay, I need Cody and Christiana to roll off, please.
Woo!
Okay, Christiana, you are in control.
All right, so
Got this.
holding him down, kind of just
Your
blink,
arm,
blink, blink.
Yeah, hurts like hell, but your other arm, you're pinning this guy down.
Yeah. I would like to get. So is the woman you said is maybe the couch has stopped eating her? Is she? What's her condition?
She's like, well, let's see. She's been hit with a chair. So she's kind of like, she's not doing great. She's not, she's sort of barely conscious. And she's sort of like trying to sit up, but she's not doing very well right now.
Okay. I would like to try to get a sense of whether these two are in love and might want to get married.
Okay. Is there a particular method you would like to use to discern this, or?
Well, I was thinking my
watch
skill
the
is
body
reading
language?
the room.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
I want to just try to look at these two. They were both in here in the office together.
Yeah.
They work together. but it's
Technically, the guy is answering all the questions.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Go ahead and make your reading your room roll.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Oh!
Not quite. So kind of as you're trying to figure this
I
out.
can spend one willpower to add a +1, can't I?
Is that in there?
Yeah, it is. But I think you gotta spend it before you roll.
Oh well.
Let me
Okay,
double
never
check.
mind that.
I think you can. No one did that last time, so it's of course one of those things where.
Yeah. If
lost.
it has to be before, that's.
I think it does.
Okay.
Let me see here. Checks. Yeah. Voice can spend any number of their remaining willpower to get a +1 to the result per point spent. So yeah, you can do that before the roll. It does have to be before the roll. All right. So good to note. And yes, so as you're looking at these two, you're trying to gauge it. You hear these sounds of groaning and sounds of people speaking in Russian. As a couple of the large burly men that you beat up outside apparently have recovered and are coming in through the garage.
Limping.
And now is the time to bid for control. Okay. Cody, you are in charge.
My arm hurts.
Your arm hurts like hell.
I'm gonna get off this guy.
All right, so you're getting up. And it's like, ah.
I'm gonna grab the chair I hit the woman with and sit down.
All right, you pick the chair up with your good hand.
Yep.
You sit down into it, and he's like, "What do you want?"
I pull out the baggie. Can you give me a hand here?
He's just sort of looking at you strangely. A couple of guys that you beat up outside are coming in. You can actually see they're not giants. They're just big mechanics.
Just need someone to open this up so I can grab it.
And they're looking at they're like, "What's the matter?" And he's like, "What's the matter, Anton?" He's like, "You came in here to get high?"
No, I'm already there, but I'm coming down.
They're sort of looking at each other. Go ahead and make your silver-tongued roll so that we can see how convinced they are to help you with this. 2, okay. And he just sort of nods sagely. He says, "Understood. Get him." And,
Hold on.
these two burly guys, as you're trying to take this peyote, these two burly guys are grabbing you on either side, and you're trying to race this peyote into your mouth one-handed. I think we're going to need a roll here to see if you can take the drug.
Didn't he roll and get it?
Oh, no, that's right. You're right.
Yeah.
Never mind. You're trying to take it, but we're not there yet. So yes, it's a bid for control. Okay, I need Christiana and Rock to roll off, please. Roll
Another
again.
roll?
Yep, reroll.
Woo! All right.
Okay, Christiana, you got it.
So is this death metal still playing?
I'm sorry. Yes,
the
you can
death
hear.
metal
You can
music-
hear now. It is death metal.
Okay, well, I'm going to
You've got
start
peyote in your hand, but yes.
singing along to it and just say, "Hi, my name is John, and I just think you guys are cool. I want to join your gang. And also, are any of you in love today and want to get married?"
It's a very strange song, but go ahead and make your singing roll, please.
Yeah!
Yeah, there you go. And they just sort of start, in spite themselves, bobbing their heads to it, and they're like, and the big guy just sort of gets up, and you see him still bleeding from his wallet wound, as to his chest, and he's like, "Okay, that was a hell of an audition. I like that. All right, I see what you're doing now. What was that you said about marriage?"
Yes, it's just so happens that I am officially certified by the universe and all of space-time to bond any two individual entities together in infinite matrimony.
And Odin. Don't forget Odin.
Well, yes, Odin too. Also, for that matter, if the shark and the octopus outside wanted to tie the knot before the end, that would also be something I could do.
The two guys holding it just sort of look at each other, and he's like, and the guy in their shrugs is like, "I don't know." There's a. He sort of will look over at the woman
I
who's
have
like
to
now
show
sitting
you
up.
all I can do.
The woman is now sitting up.
Also, don't forget.
At the on the sofa is going to sit up, and she's just sort of look and she's like, and she looks over and at the big guy. She says, "Well, Anton, what do you think?" And says, "No, we could. It's been but and he just sort of gestures to the two guys on either side of you, and they look at each other. It's like, "Oh yeah, Mikhail and I have been thinking about doing it as well." Yeah. But you're this is a thing you can just officiate. You're saying?
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, if you want it to be a joint ceremony, I can do that, or one after the other, either way. But, I think it's important in these moments to live with passion and strike while the moment is hot, which is, right now.
Well, I guess we could. I feel like this is going to take a second roll to try to convince them to do this right now. Mm-hmm. Because
Trust me, you want to get married. It is the only thing that will make your lives complete.
You're singing the Get Married song, so go
That's
ahead
right.
and make your singing roll, please.
Yeah!
Yes, there you go. And they cheer. And they're like, "All right, well, let's do it." They'll say, "You need someone to look at your arm before we do this?" Or,
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine.
"Oh, it's just fine."
That can be afterwards.
Okay.
That's what the reception is for. First aid and drinking.
All right, I suppose so.
And taking peyote.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
too. Sure.
So they are. I feel as though they're getting set up.
All right.
Which I think. I'm trying to decide if they want to like do a thing where they call people, or if this is just something they're going to try to do immediately.
It's a limited time offer.
Yeah, they're looking at each other. All right. So they will go out into the garage. They will bring you out into the garage to perform this ceremony for them.
This is fitting.
And they will turn down the death metal so that you can do this. And they'll just sort of look at each other, and the two couples will each join hands, standing in front of you. What is this ceremony like between the shark and the octopus, which now look a lot more like cars?
Need a peyote.
In all of time and space, there are many random assemblages of protons and electrons and neutrons that must find their own quantum state. And just like when you find the shoe that finally fits you and really expresses something about your personality, you want to wear that shoe forever. Will you each wear each other's shoes today and promise that for a quantum infinite period, you will not separate and split your atoms, because that would create a nuclear explosion that would end all of the universe?
I love that you brought it back around to shoes. They each say, "We will," and you have succeeded in your goal of officiating at a wedding. And
Nice.
It's time for
Is that
another
one
bid
or
for
two?
control.
Is that one or two? Did both couples?
Oh well, it's a joint wedding. It's a single ceremony.
Okay.
So I'm only going to count it once.
That's fair.
But yes, let's bid for control.
Your children are going to be a pair of matched socks.
Okay, I need Cody and Rock to roll off, please. All right, Cody, you're in the driver's seat. You've just apparently these people you were beating up a little while ago are now standing in front of each other, kissing.
Congratulations,
And this-
Mazel Tov.
And
May
this-
you never wish to go back in time and change this.
the
Hold on.
the third thug is actually now all back in the room, and he's just sort of looking at everything confused. But they kind of have placated him a little. They're now celebrating. They're breaking out the vodka. They have turned the death metal back on.
Nice.
And
Can someone help me out here?
They're handy, and yes, no, very gladly. They will. One of them will come up and said, yeah. The big guy will come up. Yes, at least we can do it. Yes. One of you please go see if you can get the first aid kit. We need to help. See if we can call in the doc. See if we can fix our new fella's arm here, and he will feed you the peyote.
Oh, thank you. I'm John, by the way.
John, and everyone's like, John. And the two cars leap up and say John as well, because it's kicked back in. It's actually no. It takes a few minutes. It takes a few minutes. That's right. So you're still coming down. So it's gonna. You kind of hear them leaping up and doing it, but the cars don't actually do it yet.
They're just biding their time.
They're biding their time. They're waiting, crouched there atop those lifts. So now there is a party going on, an impromptu party. Are you gonna hang out there and drink, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a couple shots of vodka and.
Okay, so you hang out, you dance a bit, you take some shots.
Yeah, wait for the peyote to kick in.
I think that it's the vodka is kind of like paint thinner, so it is very much it's not quite the quality that it's like stuff you can get in the U.S., but is still that Russian mobsters on a fairly low level would purchase.
It's rotten gut.
Yeah.
Liquor.
It's not really going to be very boring here, so I don't think you're going to fall asleep. So as this is going on, eventually,
When the peyote kicks back in, I must go on a quest.
Ah. So,
See if they have any donuts for the road.
so this after a moment, you see the cars have started dancing, bobbing up and down a little bit, and you see that this light comes in from the doorway as it opens again, and you see a man standing with you see a woman standing with a doctor's bag, and she will look in and she says, "I just okay, I can. Which is
Gretchen?
the one that needs to be taken care of?"
Gretchen, is that you? It's
My
me,
name's
John.
Elena.
Oh, I thought you were Gretchen. I'm sorry.
She does look kind of like Gretchen. She sort of is pointing to which is this the one I need to take care of? And they're like, yes, please, Elena. All right. Do you have? As she's stepping into the room, I need a few dollars for the cabbie. And they're like, all right, yes. And coming into the doorway, then you see this thin individual looks up and he locks eyes with you and he points and he says, "You!"
You!
As the cabbie has returned. They're all looking very confused at each other.
This is the man that struck down my father.
What? He's he immediately is he reaches behind him and he pulls out what seems to be a. You're not sure exactly what it is, but it's like a glowing short sword. And he begins wielding back and forth, and he points at you. And he says, "I will take your soul."
You have taken my father's soul, but you will not get mine. As I look around for the pipe we've been using.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to. So everyone is so they're kind of looking back and forth. You're trying to. They're not sure whether this is entertainment or if this is actually happening. And so you are hunting for that lead pipe again. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
All right. I need you to
The
make a roll, please, to try to find something to use as a weapon against this guy.
Darn.
Nope, not quite. So we're at a bid for control again. Okay, everyone roll off, please.
Aha.
Perfect.
Okay, Rock, you are in control.
Okay. So
That man killed our father. He has come here to kill us.
I gotta ask this question. So they think that we've joined them, right?
Yes, we're now double agents.
Yes.
So now we are the spy.
Ah. Or, we could just be part of their gang now. That would be okay too.
And leave the shoes behind, join the Russian mafia, be a hitter.
So,
Jim, you know where I'm going with this, right?
well, yes, Rock, I have one question for you. Do you believe the voices or not? Do you believe that you are in fact the spy?
That is
'Cause there's an argument for that, definitely.
yeah, that's a very strong. Are we the spy now? Or
I think John joined this gang out of sincere good faith and a desire to conduct a wedding ceremony.
Only you can answer this question as to whether you have achieved this goal or not.
yeah, I know. I'm just
Remember, we came here because Ricky betrayed us.
Oh, that's right. So maybe Ricky is a spy as well.
He didn't betray us. He sent us here on a job to be a spy.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a confirmation that I think Ricky at least is a spy. You might also be.
We think Ricky is a spy.
Excellent. So you've just reached one of your goals of figuring out who is a spy, and it is now time for a bid for control.
Yo.
Okay, I need Christiana and Cody to roll off, please. Okay, Christiana. So this realization struck apparently to the other John anyway. So now you are kind of hunting around in the back office while apparently there's fighting going on in the other room.
So my new allies are defending me from this deranged cabbie?
It seems like it, yes.
Oh, good. So that's handled. So is there a back door to this place?
There is. You look and you see there is a door in the back of the office.
All right. Yeah, I leave.
All right. You walk out.
You forgot to take the donuts, though.
Were there donuts?
There might have been. You want to go back and look for them?
Yes.
All right. I need you to make for me
A reader room?
Yeah, sure. Read the room. Read the room for donuts.
Yeah.
There is a box of donuts. Or there's a donut box, I should say, sitting on top of the desk. Actually, just off to the side. It was under a couple of newspapers. You had to lift those off.
Are there donuts in the donut box?
There is one donut left in the donut box.
I eat it.
Excellent. So you're standing in the office eating the donut. You have achieved your goal once again, and it is time for a bid for control.
Oops.
Everyone will see. Anyway, so I need. Yes, thank you for letting me know. I need Conti and Christiana to roll off, please.
All right. Probably going to be hard to beat that 6, but well, no.
Yep. All right, Cody, you're up. You've just eaten a donut. Apparently, there's a donut in your mouth.
Even if I beat this man now, I cannot save my father. I must go back and save him. Where's the cash box?
Please search the room for the cash box. You must make a roll, please.
I'm going to spend a willpower.
All right.
Make it just slightly easier.
So it's a d6 plus 1. So that's a 3, which unfortunately still doesn't doesn't.
No, it need to be a 5.
Yeah. Let me look this over. Let me just double check something here. Rock, I've still got you at because it's been a roll off. I think every single time that you've bid stuff. Well,
if he just spent 2 though for the add to the roll.
It's Rock, not me.
Yeah.
I spent 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Just so that everyone can, I'm going to go ahead and put this since this has come up. I've got Rock right now at 5 points. I've got Cody at, I think it's at 1 now.
Yep.
Because you just spent 1, and Christiana I've got at 4.
See, I think we've lost track at some point because I'm pretty sure that I spent 2.
Yeah, let me check.
A little ways back.
Let me check.
Yeah,
something.
I thought I spent 2 on one that wasn't a roll off.
That actually wasn't a roll. Okay, let me.
Yeah.
Hang on.
At least.
Rewind really quickly. I might have lost track. The last one that I've got. I mean, I keep seeing bids of 2 and rerolls. I'm going to go ahead and make an adjustment though, based on your suggestions. I'll go ahead and I will knock 2 off of each of you if that sounds fair. So, Rock is down to 3. Cody's at 1. Christiana's at 2. It's possible. This game goes pretty quickly. And the spreadsheet is just dancing in front of me. All right, so let's see who's in control right now.
Christiana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wait, no, but didn't. Because you failed your roll.
Yeah, we had to roll off. Remember? No, wait, no. Yeah. Oh yeah, we were bidding.
Well, okay, but I'm looking at the result right here, and so since my last bid, there was a roll off where I rolled a 3 and you rolled a 6, and then you rolled a 2.
Yeah, which was the fail, which goes back.
Oh yeah, okay. So we just had the fail. Okay, right. All right.
Yeah.
Good. We're there. Everyone, please bid for control now. Math. All right, Rock, you are in control.
Okay.
Cash box so we can save our father.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you failed to roll, so something has to happen. You did not find a cash box, and at this point, you hear a loud sort of "ah" in the other room, and you see, broken and bloodied, the cabbie is now sort of limping toward you from the other room, covered in blood.
Wow,
blades
he
swinging
beat all
back
of
and
those
forth.
guys? Oh man, this guy's badass.
This guy, yeah, I know. This guy, if he's taking on a room full of Russians that were mafia, and he's still alive, I'm thinking that this guy, if he's not a spy, he's working for a spy. Yeah. Our buddy who is a spy, this guy may be like one of his moles or something.
I'll have my fare from you, sir.
I'm going to grab the cash box that we found.
You did not find a cash box.
Okay. So,
well, there's the pipe, the chair.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm going to grab the pipe.
All right, you do find the pipe. It's in here.
It is wiggling again.
Yeah, it's wiggling a little bit. Yeah. It's kind of going the death metal's still playing, so it's kind of wiggling in time to the death metal.
Okay.
Dang, you want to be his best friend.
The pipe whip then. And I'm going to go ahead and we need to get past this guy so that we can go back after our buddy who is the spy. So I'm going to go ahead and clobber this guy and try to so we can get past him.
You arc forward. You both arc forward, looking in, gliding through the air epically. And please make a clobbering people with improvised weapons roll. You do it. You beat him on the head, and he goes down like a sack of potatoes. Sort of, actually, you hit him on the head, and he falls backwards, and he splashes. He explodes into what look like a bunch of Skittles that fall onto the floor. Which I'm going to say that actually fulfills one of your fulfills your third obsession, as you have apparently killed this person, which means killing the spy is one of your obsessions. So it is now a bid for control.
Oops. Almost did the thing again where I just type it into this one.
No! You mustn't tell them! Okay. Alright, Christiana, I have you at 0, but you are now in control.
Alright, well.
And
it would seem that no one around here is alive or a stranger.
Yeah. Well, you look around, you do see that into the garage. You see Ileana is trying to pick herself up. She's actually still alive, but everyone else is no longer alive.
She's not a stranger, though. I officiated at her wedding.
You did. That's correct.
And, I thought Ileana was the doctor that came.
Yes.
She introduced herself, though.
She did introduce herself. Yes, Ileana's the doctor.
Yeah. So I
she
walk
looks
out
a lot
the back.
like
She looks so
someone you
much
dated a
like
long time
Gretchen.
ago.
Maybe we should marry her to us.
I walk out the back door and try to go back out to the street.
Okay. So you do that. you go to the back door. Head out. It's the dead of night.
We have a broke arm.
Yeah. Your arm's still flopping because you haven't had a chance to have it looked at yet.
It's fine.
The pipe's still moving around.
Yeah. And,
I dropped the pipe. I don't care.
The trees are kind of swaying back and forth, again to the sound of the echoing death metal. Some of them are kind of going up and down like they do. The street wobbles before you in the darkness, and you see across from the street there may be what look like panthers climbing in the trees. It's hard to tell. What would you like to do?
Do the Panthers seem to have an uptight demeanor? Like they've got attitude?
They do look like they have. Now that you think about it, and you're looking sort of across the street at this park, basically. Yeah, they do look like they're just sort of looking at you. They're wearing they're wearing members only jackets, so you think that probably also is it's very, very elitist type.
Okay.
Punch 'em.
Well, so
Even I agree. Punch him.
I start stalking up to them, doing the West Side Story snap,
With one arm.
with my good hand.
We are talking about jungle cats, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
that's what they look like.
Okay.
Yeah. So I go up to them and as I'm stalking towards them, I say, "To you, good panther, I decry. I don't like the way you look, and so tonight you die." Pow!
So you're going to try to
King
punch a
punch.
panther.
That's you can rule whether you think that is a deserving.
I mean, you used the singing to try to sucker punch them, so I will go ahead and let you use that skill for this.
Sweet.
Yes.
Excellent. So you reach up, you clock one of these panthers. It goes sailing back through the air, landing on the ground, turning into a person. And there's a bid for control, as you've just once again achieved an objective.
Excellent. That panther could have turned out to be an old college roommate, and then it wouldn't have been a stranger. But
That's true.
Or it could have been our first girlfriend, and still wouldn't have been a stranger.
All right. So Rock, I have you at 0, and you are in control.
Okay. All right. So we just clocked one of these panthers, and he's on the ground.
Yep, he's on the ground. A couple more of them have leapt down from the trees, and they're just sort of looking at you, and they're like just sort of looking back and forth, and they're like getting ready to hit you with their claws. They're standing on their hind legs for some reason. They're kind of orange looking.
yeah, see, attitude. Like I said, yeah.
They're morose. They must be working for Richie.
Okay. Is there anything nearby me? Anything that I can pick up?
Let's see. You're on a street. There's some cars parked nearby. You're at the entrance to a park. You've actually, you're near the entrance to the park. So there are most things that are here are attached to other things. There might be rocks.
There's another panther on the ground.
There is another panther on the ground also.
So I was already
Well, a person, but
the
yeah.
fact that there is a panther on the ground, but
And
I
there,
just-
there are rocks. That's
Or I grab
probably the
that.
biggest, the most weapony thing that's around here right now that you can actually get that's not affixed to anything.
yeah, but
Unless you want to like go over to a car and like grab a spoiler off of it or something.
spoiler probably would be a little difficult, but I could probably break off a windshield wiper.
You could do that.
Yeah. So let's do that.
Okay, dashboard. I need you to make a roll for me to break off this windshield wiper.
All right.
No spoilers.
Okay, you're desperately trying to get this windshield wiper off, as these orange panthers leap upon you, and I need I need a bid for control, as it were.
I think I'm the only one with willpower left, maybe.
Cody, you're the only one left with willpower right now. So if you bid it, then you'll be in control. Okay, you're on probably the last scene here. So you're in control. These people that you can't really recognize them very well right now because they're orange at the moment, and they have claws, are coming at you. You're standing next to a car. What would you like to do?
We were trying to take the windshield wiper off, right?
Yeah.
It was mostly just a thing where like,
Well, I'm kind of smart. Maybe I can pull it off easier.
Okay, you want to sort of take a moment and look sort of how it comes off, and then just like,
Yeah.
all right. Go ahead.
We briefly pull out like a long shot and all the little mathematical equations.
Yes. Please make a kind of smart roll. All right. So you reach down and you're like, got it. And they're like, John?
Take me to Gretchen.
They look at each other.
How'd you know my name?
I mean, it's been a while. But, I mean, I was at your... your induction ceremony when you started at the shoe company.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like those induction ceremonies that they have when you start at companies.
You have to wear the green shoes when you start at certain shoe companies. And if you survive that, then you may become a salesperson. So, yes, I need you to convince them. So you were rolling on your Silver-Tongued Devil. Skill? No. All right. They step forward, and they rest their hand on your shoulder, one of them, and says, or tries to, and says, John.
Just want to find Gretchen.
I know, but the thing is, this is hard to say. Gretchen is no longer on the market, as it were, as she's just married the person she's just married one of the folks who apparently just bought one of those
high rises.
Yeah, those over there. She sort of points over, and you look over and you see the hotel in which you had your you woke up and had your meeting. And as this clicks in, you have this moment of extreme sadness as it all sinks in, and you sink to your knees, and John goes unconscious, for we are at 0 willpower. Thank you very much for playing. Everyone is John.
Great success!
We now have a life in the Russian mafia as a double agent, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
It's
unless
fair.
they're all dead.
Well, you had one witness who saw you, so maybe you could play that. It's hard to say, but we have to find out narratively who it is that actually wins the right to decide John's future. I think it's actually going to be quite simple here.
It's not me.
Cody, unfortunately, did not achieve any of his goals. Came close once or twice, but didn't quite get there. Rock got hit each of his obsessions once for a total of 6 points. That's Cody. By the way, your obsessions were reconnect with his first girlfriend, get someone high on peyote, and convince them he can time travel, and time travel and meet his dad, Odin. Unfortunately, we were not able to get any of those out. Rock's obsessions: figure out who is a spy, get that person to admit being a spy, and then kill the spy. Did all of those once. So you got 6 points. Christiana, your 3 obsessions were eat a donut, punch a stranger, and officiated a wedding.
Yep.
Officiated a wedding you did once. Punch a stranger and eat a donut you each did twice. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 points!
Yes.
Which was the second punch a stranger that you're thinking of? Because I had been thinking that it was only one punch a stranger. The Panther.
Yeah.
Towards the
You
end.
punched somebody close to the close to the start. Well, you tried punching someone, but it was there was a point. I know I marked it for a reason. I'm pretty sure I had a there were so many people.
I know I didn't punch anybody.
See, the thing, oddly enough, like the thing I was going to argue was this: like, if there were two couples that got married at the ceremony, how is that not two
Well, it was a
weddings?
single wedding, though. It was a double wedding. It's hard to say. Either
It's
way,
a
you
single
haven't.
wedding because it was a double wedding.
Fair. Single ceremony, double. What they call a double wedding.
It doesn't matter. You
Either
got
way, well, yes, you have won.
The second donut put me over the top.
Yep.
The second donut did indeed put you over the top,
All right.
and if nothing else, and so you have the right to decide narratively what happens to John.
So I think that after waking up in the hospital, having been treated, handcuffed to the bed,
more than likely.
the FBI say, "We need you to testify against the Russian mob."
What Russian mob?
And John says, "I'll tell someone, but only you. Come close, lean close." And as the FBI agent does it, John punches him.
Excellent.
With the broken arm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, excellent. Thank you all for playing Everyone is John. This was delightful. Just to see this again in play. We're going to go around the opposite way this time and ask you if you have any final thoughts about the game and where folks can find you. And we're going to start with Rock.
Oh, all right. So Rock 007, or sometimes you can find me as TVM Rock. As far as the game goes, I thought the game was kind of fun. But I definitely think that you need to be keeping, as a player, you need to make sure that you are accurately keeping track of your points, because there was a couple of times there were spans of time where I wasn't bidding points because I thought I had spent everything I had. So
That's fair.
yeah, so I mean, I definitely think that as a player, you need to make sure that you're doing a good job of keeping your track of your points. But other than that, I mean, I thought it was kind of great. It's a role playing game. You're not worried about stats or anything like that. It's pretty much just kind of madcap adventure. So, I think it's a good kind of like a one shot type game where like a drop in and then do something. I can't really see it as like a campaign style thing.
Yeah, it's been a bit hard to do that.
Yeah. So, but other than that, I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
I will say that as far as the points go, usually when people play this in person, they have tokens that they use to represent it, so it's a little bit easier.
Right.
Unfortunately, with distance being what it is, we had to kind of improvise. And people aren't really supposed to know necessarily how much you're bidding, so the best way I could think to do it was to whisper. But it's definitely something that I think it can be played over a distance. It's just one of those things you do definitely need to keep track of your own points as well if you're doing that, because it's rough. Also, one thing they do say usually, or at least in the version that I got, the Kickstarter version, as far as additional sessions on any game go, typically they say that you should usually it's like the person who wins gets to run the next game. Typically, is usually the way so they kind of keep a chain like that. But it's all very fast and loose, and so it's but as far as the way that goes. But still, I would like to once again thank you so much for playing. It was awesome to have you. And now let us move on to Cody.
I'm Cody, also known as Lord Connie here on Twitch. I don't really do much. You'll see me in other people's chats.
These things happen.
Yeah.
And you build monsters in other people's games. That's
Yeah, I do that.
Any final thoughts about the game?
Oh, this is fun. I can see it actually being a continued campaign, because the next group, they come in, they're strapped down to a bed, pretty much. got a guard outside, and they got to figure out what they're going to do.
It'd be an interesting little sort of weird series. That's a possibility.
Yeah. And it's just the continuing misadventures of John,
That's fair. That's fair.
who's now technically a Russian mobster, possibly.
Entirely.
It suddenly makes me think of Memento.
It is. Yeah, we commented on that last week. This is kind of like, in some ways, Memento the RPG. Because it's like you wake up in strange places and these things happen to you. But thank you again for playing. It was good to have you. We haven't had you on the channel since the new year, so it's cool to see you again. And now let us move on to Christiana.
Hello, I'm Christiana. I have my own Twitch channel, which is just Christiana Ellis. I'm Christiana Ellis on Twitter, and my website is Christiana Ellis, but ChristianaEllis.com. My current thing that I'm plugging, though, is that my science fiction, fantasy, mystery novel, Phyllis Esposito, Interdimensional Private Eye, has just come out. It's available as an ebook and on print at Amazon, and you can find out more about it at my website at ChristianaEllis.com. This game is a lot of fun. It occurred to me midway through that if someone were trying seriously to win as opposed to just being silly, you could choose your skills based on usefulness at achieving the obsessions that you set. For example, my desire to punch strangers was severely limited by my not having skills related to punching strangers. That's why I had to get creative and sing punch there at the end.
That was fun, though.
But then again, that's actually some part of the fun is that creativity, and it's not necessarily always going to lead to victory. But then again, I think anyone who's playing this game with the mindset of I'm gonna win, I'm gonna beat all those people, it's like, all right, well, maybe not approaching this game in the spirit in which it's intended. But I thought it was a lot of fun. I think one thing that could be done in Roll20 is you could have tokens on the board just to represent like how many willpower you have, and then still do the secret bid.
Yeah, you could do that. That's true, and only delete them afterward. So that
right, and that way you know how many total everyone has. But that would be the same as if you had them on the table.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
One additional note, though, I think that towards the end of the game, the idea that you don't spend the willpower tokens if it's a roll-off, I think draws out the end, because you're going to have much more 1 and 2 point bids and not higher than that, because everyone's low now. And it's going to be tying a lot.
What are you talking about? I was bidding 1 and 2 from the beginning.
That's fair.
Well, the other thing is, too, that like if the fear was just wanting the game to kind of last longer, you could just have everyone start with more than 10.
That's true, yeah, and that's what they actually say to do with it. Still calibrating on this one to figure it out, but
lots of fun though, very silly.
Oh yeah,
I know. The thing with like having the tokens and being able to spend the tokens kind of thing. I know. I mean, it just highlights one area. Another thing that Roll20 needs to consider adding to their feature list, as far as being able to have like a dice cup type thing, where it's you can be able to have tokens in an area that's not visible to the other players. I saw somewhere where somebody had made a suggestion of having like the game master layer and using the fog of war.
Oh yeah.
And
sort of
so
off screen.
Yeah, like you can define an area that each player is able to see.
Oh, okay.
And then you have your fog of war, or whatever they call it, area that hides things.
Yeah. And
so you could set it up so that players would have areas that are fogged where they could keep their tokens and then move their tokens into the visible area.
That's interesting. I'll need to look more deeply into how the fog of war works, because I've only used it right now for everyone sees it or no one sees it. So I didn't realize you could actually specify by player.
Yeah, there's supposed to be stuff on there for the dynamic lighting, I think.
Yeah. So like what you could have is sort of each person has a token that kind of represents their position, and you have like walls set up so that you can see, like where your token can see is where your stuff is.
Yeah, that's very good. And although I think the dynamic lighting feature is for paid Roll20 members, so there's that hurdle, but it is a good idea. It is a good idea. Cool.
If anything else, you can just have people have their own character sheets, and only they can see their character sheet.
Yeah, that's true.
That too as well. Perhaps if I ever run through this again, I will employ these things, as that's a cool idea. I very well may, because this was a lot of fun. So it was very cool getting to play this. I seem to take to it, so that's always a good sign. Always enjoyed this game. I also did want to just mention that in the Kickstarter that just came out, the version that they just put out has a bunch of alternate possible settings for this game. They have sci-fi, they have the spy thing, they have medieval, post-apocalyptic, all manner of different places and ways in which John can wake up. So I do recommend folks checking out if they are so inclined. In the meantime, however, we have come to the end of our time. And so I just let you know, once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me here. I'm at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I've got links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and the most recent short story that I've released. Tomorrow, I will be over on Katie's channel, Katieface, running Inspectors. That's Katyfaise. It's paranormal comedy, and as they are going to go on another mission. It's this short campaign I'm running over there. It's been a lot of fun so far. This Thursday, we're going to start a short campaign of Durance. I still need to actually go through the applications and notify everybody, but hopefully we'll be starting up a campaign of Durance this Thursday. It'll be a three-session campaign, and that is set at a distant prison colony in space. It's a drama, a heavy drama about convicts and authority, but it's a story game. We're all controlling multiple characters. So I think it's going to be fun to kind of see how that goes over time. We did one-shots of it. I want to play with more of the mechanics and see how that goes. On Friday afternoons and Saturday and Sunday mornings here, I play video games. On Friday evenings now, I am over on Off the Table playing in their 1890s Urban Shadows campaign. Sanguahona the Claiming. It's a sequel to the previous seasons of Sanguahona that we played. And I am playing the evilest person in the world, apparently. Or one of the three evilest people in the world, really. So it's going to be quite interesting. I'm just dying to play that. Let's see, we circle back around to 1 week from today. This Sunday, we start a couple of one-shots of 3 Days Until Retirement, which is a parody of cop dramas. Basically, about to retire, trying to get a pension, gotta bring in that criminal. You've only got 3 days to do it.
Close out that last case.
Yep, absolutely. So that should be a lot of fun. Sign-ups are open for that still. Also technically open for Genesis Undone, which is the game that's going to be at the end of the month, that a thing I designed about sort of Dawn of Civilization as a Shakespearean tragedy. So if folks want to look at that, those are both there. Just go to jimyesthatjim.com and click on the game sign up, or just click on the game sign up link down below. Well, folks, and again, as always, beginners are welcome. But we are at the end here, so I'm going to send a raid over to Little Red Dot, where it looks like Ethan is running a cipher game about goblins. So if anyone would care to hang out and go say hi to them, feel free to do so. I will do that once we hit the end card. Thank you, folks, very much for watching. It is much appreciated. Take care, and I will see you all of a sudden. Farewell.
Bye.